Okay, Impact Wrestling. This was a retrospective show, so I'm not going to cover a lot here. This might not be a very long video, I hope not too long. I'm going to cover the match, and then I'm going to cover a few things about the retrospective I did like. The match. You got Kiera Hogan versus Jordynne Grace versus a Madison Rayne. It was a very good match that had two major problems. One, there was no real payoff to it. Because I would have liked to see, since Taya Valkyrie retained at Monsters Ball on Slammiversary, this should have been a title shot. And I think that should have been for it. Because then you could have built not only a Taya Valkyrie up with this match, you could have also tried to squeeze in Madison Rayne, Kiera Hogan, and Jordynne Grace in some type of angle where pretty much 3 of the 4 women have an attitude towards each other, and the last one, who is a Taya Valkyrie, is just a spectator just taking in the madness. That could have been something good. The second glaring problem of that match was that it shouldn't have been on the show. This should have just been a basic retrospective. And to be honest, the retrospective did not need this match. It should have been left, honestly, for the next Impact, and it should have closed the show. They did a great match. Kiera Hogan, and I know people don't really care that much about Kiera, but I've said if you give her a chance, she would surprise you. In this match, she was highly aggressive. Way more aggressive than she normally is. She pulled out moves that she normally does not pull out. And I found it refreshing that when someone turns heel, not only do they change their ring work up, they change their ring attire up, they also change the theme music up. So I liked seeing this situation with Kiera Hogan, and it should have had a payout. I would like to see Kiera Hogan win that match, because then you could still have Madison Rayne have a problem with Jordynne Grace, and Jordynne Grace have a problem with Kiera Hogan, and you could have just let the madness happen and Taya Valkyrie watch it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, let's go through this retrospective. Was it a good retrospective? I guess the reason I botched this is because usually we get retrospective from Impact at the end of the year. For Christmas, going into New Year's, that is when you get the retrospectives of Impact throughout the year. And seeing it here was a bit of a surprise. I didn't expect them to do it here. But they at least tried to make it productive. They had Don Callis, they had Josh Matthews, they had Scott DeMont, they brought Dino Brown out, they brought Petey Williams out, they brought out, I'm surprised they didn't bring out Gail Kim to cover the match on Monsters Ball. They brought out Jimmy Jacob, who we haven't seen in so long. But essentially speaking, it wasn't a bad thing to see all those people. And the 2 things I did like, I know I could talk about what happened with Killer Kross and Eddie Edwards and how the breakdown for that is, but I'm not going there. I really wasn't fond of the feud, even though it did help, in some cases, a little bit of Eddie becoming more hardcore, which I don't think he should be doing that much. But the matches I cared about was the Fabulous Muda, not the Fabulous Muda. I'm getting the Fabulous Moolah mixed up with the Great Muta. Sorry, guys. The Great Muta with Tommy Dreamer and Johnny Evil with Michael Elgin. I did not see Night of the Mist. I believe that's the name of the pay-per-view that happened months ago. I didn't see it, so I didn't see this match. So I'm kind of glad I did see it. And it was kind of strange because when it came to the Great Muta, at one point when he was walking down, he seemed very disoriented. When he was walking down, once his music and theme hit and he got into the ring, he seemed really disorientated. Maybe it was because he was in that suit for so long, because it was like, what was it? It wasn't a Predator. It was an alien mask with alien pads. So it was pretty cool. The match was okay. And Tommy spoke how important it was for him to be with his idol, the Great Muta, in the ring. So I appreciated hearing him say dick, because they didn't bleep the damn thing. I enjoyed that. You don't always need to bleep something if it's not rated PG-14. Sometimes you need to have a little cursing in it. Anyway, the second thing I did like, and that was them showing Tessa Blanchard and Sami Callihan. You guys have seen my Slammiversary video, and honestly, I know I said thank you on my NXT. I still mean it. Thank you guys. I didn't expect anybody to even see it, to be honest. I didn't. But in that video, I was not against Tessa Blanchard. No one said I was. I wasn't against Tessa, and I wasn't against Sami Callihan. But identity politics for the build ruined it for me. And even though the match was it was good. It was so good. I didn't really have a major problem with the match. Yeah, Tessa got a lot of kickouts. But she was playing a face who was an underdog. So it was understandable. But the problem for me was she wasn't an underdog because she hadn't had the underdog story. She wasn't a Daniel Bryan. So that was the major problem that I had. But I'm not taking anything away from Tessa. Definitely nothing. Because, as I said, she's better than Charlotte. At least Tessa does not use her dad's moves like crazy. Once in a while, she used a Magnum for her stepfather. Once in a while, she used her actual father's moves. But she doesn't use her father's move or her stepfather's moves all the time. It's all her. She's the first Tessa Blanchard, not another Ric Flair and a Charlotte. I appreciate that. So when it comes to this situation with her and Sami Callihan, I don't think it's over. So I believe that, I gotta say this, the feud's not over, and the next step is a steel cage match. If no one believes me, just keep watching. If they don't end their feud, the steel cage match is next to happen. It has to happen. If they're not going to do a no disqualification match, no holds barred match, first blood match, or a not a Falls Count Anywhere match, that's too easy. I think a I Quit match. If they're not going through that progression before they reach the steel cage, I think the steel cage will be first. Then they may do a last man or woman standings match, or a what would be the best one? An I Quit match would be the final bit where one of them has to quit and leave the company or just be bitched out. I'm not saying that's a great thing, particularly in between these matches. There may be builds that's going to piss my ass off if they do identity politics again. Understand, it's not Tessa I have a problem with. She's done great. She actually has proven to me that not only is she a great wrestler, that the thing that I felt was missing, she filled it in pretty well. She has. She's become a very good wrestler to me. An all-around wrestler that isn't perfect, but does not mean you can't really enjoy her work. And Sami Callihan, who we know has been well done, but admittedly, I'm worried if this feud continues, and in between their matches of either a steel cage match, a last man or woman standings match, or an I Quit match, because if they continue this, Sami's credibility is going to be really badly degraded because they're going to make him get bitched out badly before each and every match. That's the way I feel. Now, what did I think about this retrospective? It was okay. I did enjoy it, at least for the understanding after the matches. Because you don't always get that in WWE at all. I mean, you get it in NXT to a certain extent. WWE right now, nope. When it comes to Raw and SmackDown, you ain't getting it. So I did appreciate it. But it's actually kind of surprising to see they would do this instead of at the end of the year, they're doing it now. I guess they want to get everybody a day off because they were probably tired or something, or they don't have the tapes, whatever. But this is my review of this Impact. And I got to say this. One, I wish to be, for Andre Corbill, I'm happy that you got your channel functioning again, because he had his channel down for 2 weeks because of copyright strikes where they could possibly, I think there were copyright strikes, where he was going to lose his channel. He didn't. I'm really glad he's got it. Dude, I'm glad for you. You're my boy. I'm so glad that you still got your channel. And the second thing I'm going to talk about is because on my NXT review, I did just check it before I decided to do this video. And one of the subscribers there said, hey, why don't you do some other videos? Like a video about your favorite WrestleMania or WrestleMania video, or an Impact that you didn't like or you did like. So I might actually see this weekend if I can do maybe 2 or 3 videos. I'm going to probably upload them each within the day. They're not going to be all one long video. Going to be probably each individual videos of maybe my favorite video about, no, my favorite match on a WrestleMania or any other pay-per-view, who I believe is one of the best wrestlers in my perspective in the past. And maybe I'll do a video of the best women's match I've ever seen. I'm not sure. I'm still considering it. But you guys tell me below. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace!